makes us stagnant and unbeliever of change. As today I stand and speak in front of all of you, I remember Albert Einstein's statement, who said that our technology has exceeded our humanity. It is time that we embrace our human values of dignity and mutual respect in social media. Thank you. My worthy opponent, I hear you, and I hear your concerns that you have just voiced out. But that being said, I must say, supervision and proper guidelines come with every app on social media. We do get a notification of it beforehand. Then why the dissatisfaction when behavior is being already controlled by the proper community guidelines? I absolutely disagree because the so-called regulations and guidelines always fail in delivering justice to the victims of bullying and harassment. Can you name any authority that regulates and enforces these guidelines? Is it Meta? Aren't we all known that Meta is also currently under many lawsuits and it has been alleged violation of freedom of speech and many laws we constitute in America and India and in other countries as well. So we are not really to trust social media platforms and the enforcing authorities like Meta, please. Alright, but as a strong supporter of social media, I must say it is a free and open platform for all. Okay? And this is not just a vague statement, it is backed up by the Supreme Court of India. As a law student, I will state a landmark judgment, which was Shreya Sindhu versus Union of India. This landmark judgment basically under it had that the section 66 subclause A of the ID Act was considered non-constitutional because it infringed and violated the right of freedom and speech. However, the same judgment that you have stated, Shreya Sindhu versus Union India, the same bench also stated that the section 69 clause A of the same ID Act 2000 also gives government the right to remove offensive content online. This is how we as a society, with the support from the government and the Supreme Court, are leading towards a world where we could respect our community and embrace our human values of dignity, respect, and our culture. Thank you. Thank you.
Team number 45, Aditya and Vijay.
Team number? 45. Your name?
Aditya Thakre. On. Nitin Sharma against.
Nitin Sharma.
Nitin Sharma.
Okay.
Honorable dignitary, esteemed judges, and the elected youth sitting in front of me, I, Aditya Thakre, stand here today to prove to you why social media is indeed a boon in this modern era. Ladies and gentlemen, we don't live in a normal era. We live in an era where we are aspiring for a Vikasit Bharat by 2047. And how are we going to achieve that? It is always by connecting to each other. Are we going to achieve that while we are disconnected to each other? While we don't know what is happening in the northeast of India? While we don't know what is happening in Gujarat? What is happening in Kanyakumari? While sitting in Nagpur? If people are disconnected, how are they going to make collective growth? Is this really possible? Can you imagine your day without WhatsApp? The reason why such a large volume of contestants are present here today is just because of WhatsApp, wherein they circulated a brochure and all of us got people from Jammu, Pune, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Raipur have participated in this competition. Isn't this the mahima of social media? Can we deny it? And if we cannot, why people like these are shouting from the depth of their souls that no, social media is such a curse. If it is such a curse, why do then people install it? It is completely our own mindset, our own decision to use that. Now, when I come to the positives of it, we all know that currently Mahakumbh is going on. If earlier 4 crore people attended Mahakumbh, after the arrival of these social media campaigns which were done for it, more than 8 crore people are attending the Mahakumbh. So the tourism, the business, the commerce, the trade activity that has to be there has increased exponentially. Isn't this the economic benefit of social media? Can we deny it? And if we do deny it, there won't be anyone fool other than us. So there are many other aspects. I am a professional engineer, and while I always need opportunities for my career, LinkedIn is such an industrial, connected social media platform that enables me to showcase my skills. I can showcase, I know machine learning, I have done these projects, and that brings about a lot of reach for me. What about small potters, small antique artisans who share their works in social media and get their materials sold? Isn't this a platform that has enabled them to do business? Why are some people getting irritated by their growth? So I think we should definitely see what good things is social media bringing, other than doing shouting here louder and louder from the depth of our souls that social media is a curse. If you definitely think that social media is a curse, I would suggest stop using it. जय श्री राम। जय श्री राम दोस्तों। मेरा नाम है नितिन शर्मा और आज मैं परीक्षा में खड़ा हूँ। सोशल मीडिया एक शहर में डूबी छुरी है बस, जहाँ चार दोस्त घर में बैठ के ये सोचते हैं कि भाई कल हम क्रिकेट खेलने जाएंगे। आज वही चार दोस्त इंस्टाग्राम पे ग्रुप पे क्रिकेट खेलने जाने की रील डालते हैं। भाई यहाँ पे ना नेट टर्फ है, वहां जाएंगे अपन खेलने के लिए, पर वो कभी जाते नहीं है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सोशल मीडिया बना था क्योंकि कनेक्ट करने के लिए लोगों को ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड, जहाँ पे मैं यहाँ पे बैठ के किसी रशियन से या फिर मैं किसी यूएसए से किसी बंदे से बात कर सकूं। बट राइट नाउ यहाँ पे स्कैम्स होते हैं। इंडिया का बंदा यूएसए के नाम से भी कंपनी आएगा, यहाँ पे आके बोलेगा कि हाँ मैं ये हूँ, मैं वो हूँ, मैं यहाँ पे ये कर रहा हूँ, मैं तुम्हारी इंटर्नशिप लगा दूंगा। फेक और इम्प्रॉपर मैसेजेस बहुत जल्दी फैलते हैं सोशल मीडिया पे। आपको याद होगा कोविड-19 के टाइम पे बहुत ज्यादा ऐसे फेक न्यूज़ फैली थी कि आप गौमूत्र का साधन करो तो आपको कोविड-19 नहीं होगा, या फिर आपने अगर कोविशील्ड लगाई है तो अब वो सेफ नहीं है क्योंकि इंडिया में नहीं है। ये सब कुछ मिथ फैलाया जाता है सोशल मीडिया पे। जितने जल्दी सही चीजें नहीं फैलती उतनी जल्दी गलत चीजें फैलती है। एज माय फेलो टीममेट सेड कि अगर आप सोशल मीडिया पे यूज करना नहीं आता तो डाउनलोड मत करो। अगर आपने डोपामिन का नाम सुना होगा, उसके बिना तो मैं सही नहीं ना, हर कोई कुछ भी क्यों करता है, उसको डोपामिन चाहिए। शुरुआत में पार्टिसिपेंट ने बोला था कि उसकी 2 साल की भांजी है, उसका भी इंस्टाग्राम अकाउंट है। सोशल मीडिया के इंस्टाग्राम में स्पेसिफिकली गाइडलाइंस में बोला गया है कि 13 साल के ऊपर के लोग उसे यूज कर सकते हैं, बट 2 साल के बच्चे यूज करेंगे। फिर कुछ लोग बोलेंगे महान बनते हुए कि नहीं, मैं उसकी चॉइस है, उसे डाउनलोड करिए, उसको नहीं करना चाहिए था। सोशल मीडिया पे न्यूडिटी इतनी जल्दी फैलती है। 12 साल का लड़का अगर सोशल मीडिया यूज कर रहा है और उसके बड़े भाई का भी अगर यूज कर रहा है, अगर उसका बड़े भाई का कंटेंट वैसा होगा, वैसा कंज्यूम करता होगा, तो उस पर क्या असर पड़ेगा? उसे लगेगा नहीं भाई 12 साल का हूं मैं, अगर ये सब इतना ज्यादा चल रहा है तो फ्यूचर में किसी को भी जाके बोलूंगा हाँ भाई लाइक सोशल मीडिया पे तुम ये सब पोस्ट करते हो, कैन यू डू इट मी। यही चीजें सोशल मीडिया पे ओपन इतनी जल्दी फैलाई जाती है कि हाँ भाई कुछ लोग थोड़े से लाइक और व्यूज के लिए अपनी बॉडी को शो ऑफ करते हैं ताकि वो पॉपुलर हो जाए। अगर आप इंस्टाग्राम आज खोलोगे 45% इन्फ्लुएंसर जस्ट बिकॉज़ उन्होंने अपनी बॉडी पे बड़े और पैसा कमाया। आज एक 14 साल का लगा रहे इंस्टाग्राम यूज कर रहे हैं, उससे रिकमेंड होता है, उसका तो कोई कॉन्टेक्ट नहीं है ना, वो देखेगा उसे लगेगा नहीं भाई सोशल मीडिया पे चल रहा है, मतलब इलीगल है, लिस्ट मैटर नहीं करती वहां पे। और अगर आपको पता होगा मैं भी जब मैंने अपने मम्मी पापा के ईमेल यूज करी है तो उनकी तो एज के हिसाब से 25-35 दिखेगा ना कि हाँ भाई 35 यूज कर रहे हो अकाउंट, बट छोटे बच्चे ने बनाया है। तो मेरा बस यही कहना है कि सोशल मीडिया की जो गाइडलाइंस है उन पे स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन लिया जाए, जो हमारी गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज बनाती है उस पे स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन लिया जाए। आज के टाइम पे पानी जैसे बहता है वैसे उनका डेटा बहता है। फेसबुक में 2019 में 100 मिलियन लाइक ऑलमोस्ट 10 मिलियन डेटा खोए थे। एंड और तुम्हें क्या लगता है जो फ्री वेबसाइट थे इंस्टाग्राम फेसबुक पैसे कैसे कमाते हैं? वो फ्री है ना सब कुछ, सब बोलते हैं फ्री वेबसाइट है आओ देखो, वो पैसे कमाते हैं तुम्हारा डेटा बेच के। थैंक यू। I would like to ask my opponent if he encounters a dirty desk full of dust, do you completely discard that desk and buy a new one? Every single platform has a certain amount of dust, has a certain amount of garbage, and I completely agree that the social media platforms and the legal authorities should definitely formulate strong rules and regulations for this. But simply because a certain part of it is bad, we cannot completely deny, completely throw it away. If we do throw it away, we cannot achieve the objectives, the national objectives that we are aiming at. जैसे कि आपने बोला टेस्ट थोड़ी सी खराब है, आपको लगता है आपकी गलती हो टेस्ट खराब है, लेकिन अगर आप एक बंदा हायर करेंगे जो साफ करे, मैं वही चाहता हूँ ना गवर्नमेंट ऐसी पॉलिसी बनाए कि जो फिल्टरेशन है वो प्रॉपर हो, एक प्रॉपर 18+ वाले बंदे को ही वो कंटेंट दिखे जो देखना चाहता है या फिर कुछ रिकमेंड हो। अगर आप आज के टाइम में इंस्टाग्राम खोलोगे तो कमेंट सेक्शन में अगर कोई मोटे से काले इंसान अगर वीडियो बना रहे हैं कमेंट सेक्शन में ऐसे बने रहते हैं भाई कि तू मोटे वीडियो बनाने का हक नहीं है, तू लड़की है, गो एंड डू योर किचन वर्क. Do you really think it proper है? This is really a bad part of social media, but simply calling it a curse directly and saying that no, we should not use this social media and this is all bad. This is completely wrong. You should also see what positives it is bringing to this country. It is connecting startups. It is since startups have very low amount of funding, they are able to market their products very easily using social media. So all these things, many healthcare cosmetic brands are doing their marketing. So this is a really important tool for them. आदिवासी एरो का नाम सुना है ना? कितना बड़ा स्कैम चला था वो, कितने इन्फ्लुएंसर ने वीडियो बनाए थे, क्या यूज इट बहुत अच्छा है, एक्टिंग क्या पता चला सब कुछ फेक है. एंड लेट नहीं करते. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल जैसे कि आपने बोला कि डस्ट है, एक 14 साल मान लो 4 साल का बच्चा YouTube शॉर्ट्स से इसका एडिट कर चुका है. आज के टाइम में बच्चा बदल के मारे करके बेटा खोल ले YouTube किड्स के नाम पे शॉर्ट दिखाते हैं, वो बच्चा देखते रहते हैं. बट YouTube पर भी पैरेंटल केयर नाम का ऑप्शन है जिसके अंतर्गत आप उसे यूज कर सकते हो. सो देयर इज ऑलवेज एन ऑप्शन. इट्स ऑन यू हाउ यू रेगुलेट इट. थैंक यू.
Team number 46, Nancy and Gauri.
A very warm good evening to everyone present here. Myself Nancy Pandey, group number 46, and I'll be speaking for the motion. Right.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gauri Nakure. I'll be speaking against the motion.
I proudly stand over here to speak in favor of the motion that social media is a boon for all of us. Social media has always been blamed from everything, from destruction to distraction, from everything, from being addicted to the reels and also for the scams. But do we not understand that social media shows something that we input into it, that we like to see, that is what social media shows to all of us. Banning and criticizing social media is something like you criticize or you try to ban electricity just because it gets shocks, or you try to ban fire just because it burns. Oh, come on. It is something, every powerful tool has some or the other output. It depends on you as to how you try to use it. And that is what social media is. A very powerful tool. It depends on you how you use it. It does not mean if you criticize it, you can ban it just because it has some things on it. Today, I will be doing this debate not with sugar-coated theories. I will do this debate with proper facts and proper figures. And to support, during COVID-19, when the whole world was quarantined, we could not communicate with anybody. Our loved ones were held in the abroad because the flights were cancelled. It was social media. It was Zoom, WhatsApp, and all sorts of social media which helped drive up the education, and people were getting educated through social media. And it is given by World Economic Forum's report that 1.2 billion students could study from their own house comforts without getting out of the houses. Next fact that I want to showcase is the UN Office for Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs emphasizes that during the 2015 Nepal earthquake, 500 million rupees played a critical role in the relief funds and in the relief efforts. And this is what the power of social media is. This is where we can mobilize people the most. If the government urges everyone to mobilize, it cannot mobilize as much as social media can mobilize their people. CNBC reports of 2020 reports that influencers and viral campaigns on social media raised over $20 billion for Australian bushfires. And through this fact, we can say that social media not only supports trends, it also supports hope. Next thing, we always heard about the Me Too movement. What do you mean to have been visible? People shouting on the streets about the Me Too, or was it physical on social media? That is how social media reflects us. Moreover, a LinkedIn report shows that 70% of the recruiters get a global talent through LinkedIn. It is good to say that if we call social media a vain, it is more like you just say it is unfair because you're blaming the mirror for showing your reflection. With this, I said my point. Thank you.
Good morning. I present my stance against the motion. Social media is just like the advertisement on the cigarette box of cancer. Like that, like it causes cancer. Everybody knows it, but yet we embrace it. Social media is now become a platform where everybody just relentlessly scroll for likes, for content, and spend their entire time and mental peace to live a life which is curated by someone else. Social media, when we scroll continuously on social media, we spend our time also for mental peace, and it is like just spending for hours and hours someone living someone else's life. We compare ourselves with someone else. It does not connect us, it compares us. I agree with my opponent saying that this is not a speech competition, we should debate with facts and figures. Facts supporting my statements are MIT Sloan's research states that since Facebook or social media has been introduced to college, 7% of depression rates are increased and anxiety disorders are being increased by 20%. If I'm calling a platform for connection, where it is clearly a breeding platform for mental health issues. And adding to it, social media is addiction. The algorithms are designed in a way where it feeds you content continuously. You keep on scrolling endlessly, and there is no surprise in the fact that you open your phone for 5 minutes but end up scrolling for an hour. A report shows that people in average spend 2 hours 31 minutes of every day spending on social media. This is 15% of our waking hours spending life on someone else's curated version. Is this the future we are aiming for, where people are just spending their time, wasting their time on social media? Adding to it, false news spreads 6 times faster on social media. This is not made up by me. This MIT report states that. Also, according to NCRT data, in India in 2020, 50,000 cases of cyberbullying were reported, including fake profiles, fake news, cyber stalking, and everything. And privacy, forget about it. We are so busy in sharing every detail of our everyday life on social media that we forget that there's a saying goes like, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. Also, there's a report by Indian Express that highlights India's Gen Z. Apart from being hyper-connected, they are battling with serious loneliness epidemic. Social media influencers are the ones who are selling detox teas and beauty standard products, but influencing that they are the best, but still they are just making you broke and still insecure about yourself. Again, when my opponent praises social media as revolutionary, let's focus on the revolution it actually brought. A revolution of depression, deception, and division. Thank you.
Ma'am, with your speech, I found that you've been continuously criticizing social media and you tell them how destructive it is, but how will you tell that LinkedIn itself tells that it has helped 70% of the recruiters find potential candidates? How do you support that?
Just because there is one right hook in the basket doesn't mean you'll ignore the other rotten ones, ma'am. LinkedIn was a good app when it was all about finding jobs. But now with that LinkedIn Love feature, it is more about finding a career partner than a career. Since when did finding jobs is so romantic? Again, when I come across social media, tell me one thing, ma'am, isn't it making us detached from family when we're spending hours and hours of scrolling on Instagram and actually not caring about the relationships we have with
Indeed, ma'am. But do you remember that during COVID-19 when the whole world was quarantined, it was social media which connected us when all the meetings were impossible, when meetings in person.
Why are we coming back again because of COVID-19?
Because ma'am, you never know if it can come back. No one imagined COVID-19, but it did come. And it was social media that helped us to connect to our family members. Okay, so it is also like social media has become lifelines during that time, and that is how it connects us to people. And I'm also sure that during the COVID-19 period, when you were cut out from the outside world, you did learn to make some dalgona coffee from social media, right? Next. then that's your fault maybe, but you can study from social media using Zoom platforms. When you say that social media has, why do you think it's a problem when it's giving so many people a platform to speak, to express themselves? How are the people supposed to speak?
That is the exact problem and that is the exact point of the debate. That it gives platforms to everyone, irrespective of him being a budding artist or a fraudster, a scammer, or a cyberbully. When we celebrate the free expression of the platform, we are a platform. Do you not think that this is what everyone has been doing from past years? All the public debaters have been doing this, and I'm sure you will be posting something on social media about today's debate, and I'm sure you don't post it for validation, will you? With this, we end. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Last team of the operation, team number 32, Kesar and Abhinav. Abhinav, what are you?
Cases mentioned are the team for the
Abhinav.
A very pleasant afternoon to one and all present over here, respected judges, teachers, and my fellow audience members. Today, I am here standing before you all to speak on the version of today's topic, that is, role of social media in today's era is upcoming. Before moving further, I would like to say sorry to each one of you, and how selfish we are. कि पहले तराशा कांच से उसने मेरा वजू पहले तराशा कांच से उसने मेरा वजू और फिर शहर भर के हाथ में पत्थर थमा दिया how does this here today we are standing over here just because of social media platform what's that we came to know about the debate competition and what we are debating over here social media platforms are first how does this here moving forward most of my opponents states that social media spreads misinformation social media spreads misinformation. I would like to correct them all that it is not the social media which spreads the misinformation. It is the user of that social media who spreads the misinformation. So stop blaming social media. Moving forward, in India, a country with area of nearly 32,87,260 kilometers. It's 5 kilometers, sorry to say. It's 5 kilometers and a population of nearly more than 142 crores. And in such a country, there is an election which is going, election is going to be held. The election manifesto of various parties are just circulated from each citizen of the country to other just because of social media platforms like as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp, and many more. And number of platforms, social media platforms. Moving further, all my points, my opponents and my fellow mates have stated. So I will just rest with others. Like as teachers, like Alar sir, Khan sir, we came to know about Alar sir and Khan sir and their contribution in the Indian education system just because of social media platform. Moreover, there are various other points that support the social media platforms. Like as it gives you a chance to be connected with the entire world, irrespective of the geographical boundaries. It makes you and it helps you to somewhat to enhance your capabilities, your inner abilities, for which you don't have to be just okay, for which you don't have to be just responsible or you have to don't rely on others. Thank you.
Very good afternoon to everyone present here. I'm going to speak that's on motion against the motion that social media is a curse. Let's not just debate for the sake of debating today. I am not going to state any facts here because we have heard already so many of them for now. Let me just start beginning with the quote that social media is an addiction wrapped in the illusion of connection. Let's talk about the times when social media was invented, when Facebook was just coming up, Instagram is now there, WhatsApp was just coming up. Why was it invented in the first place? Well, the reason being to connect us all, to bring us all together, and to improve our communication and our social connections. Well, how close are we now? How really close are we now with our friends? Is it just through the digital posts, the stories and the highlights and the reels that are being posted, or are we really that connected as we were in 90s? Talking about so many health issues that social media poses today, such as cervical disc problem issues. When, if you may have not noticed yourself, whenever you are using a phone, your neck is always bending and bending towards the phone, and you are not using it like that. When I asked my doctor that, not that I have an issue, but just for the sake of keeping health facts, right? He is like most of the India uses their phone, keeping their phones down, which is causing severe health issues. Apart from that, there's a new term, digital eye strain or computer vision syndrome, which is also again which came up because of social media, that how people are addicted to watching reels in the night, how blue light rays is affecting them adversely badly. Mental health issues I will not talk about because we all are victims of mental health issues. Come on, have we not ever faced fear of missing out, which is now a new emotion that has emerged in the 20s years. Well, earlier we used to feel, say to, like I used to say to my mom to my nanny used to say that, oh, I'm feeling so sad today. But today what we are saying to our moms is that, Mama, I don't know why I'm feeling FOMO, why I'm feeling sad. So that's a new emotion that has come up. Then privacy issues. Have you ever noticed when you're talking to your friend about that, hey man, listen, I want to buy this product. And the next day it pops up on your feed and shows on your feed that, okay, here's the advertisement, you might want to buy it. So how is social media controlling us and how this is affecting us so badly? And privacy issues. Talking about the Reed Hastings, the co-founder of Netflix, in 2017 he was being interviewed and he said our biggest competitor is sleep. So imagine how people at top with labs and quotes wearing quotes are manipulating meticulously our lives, thinking that the competitor of Netflix is people's sleep and how circadian rhythm of our sleep cycle is being affected. Next, I would thank you so much.
Just I would like to just document outline of I would like to just answer you on your very own question that as like you have said, critics argue that social media has drawbacks such as addiction or misinformation. As I already said, but these issues arise from misuse rather than the platform itself. So don't blame the platform now. You are misusing now. You are spending your most of the time on platforms.
I am not.
Suppose there is a wire and electricity is going on. You are getting the light, and if you are going to press the open, you will get a shock. So don't do
That is
that.
not what we are talking about here. The social media, how impactful it is, how meticulously people at top are creating such algorithms that are dictating our lives. We are not here talking about an individual response that okay, you need to, well, it's also the habit of so many people around here. It is not something that can be solved on individual level. It needs to be taken on a broader level to solve it.
Those habits cannot be solved or cannot be mitigated just by banning entire social media platforms. For those habits, to mitigate those habits by promoting a digital literacy.
So I did not say that we need to ban social media.
So what is your stand? What
My
is your stand?
intention is that social media simply occurs because
So if something is done to you, what are your steps to do it?
Sir, I don't think so. We are here to discuss the steps.
We are here to debating a solution.
I have been.
We are here not to be. We are here to just find a solution for the discussion.
I would like to ask you a question. As you mentioned,
Go ahead.
as you mentioned in your speech, 32 some lakh and some other square feet. That huge area is.
Please don't take that number in that way. It is our total surface area of India.
So as you mentioned that.
Please give it little bit respect, sir.
So as you mentioned that how votings would be, how that would enable.
No, I have not mentioned that. I said that the election manifestos of various parties are related from one person to
So
another.
I would like to just say that voting used to take place even in the 90s when there was no social media. Thank you so much.
Thank you.